What do you need to do to level up in the credit card game? To get better redemptions, to have better value for your points, and to experience amazing travel and vacations? Well, the first thing you got to know is, where are you currently in the credit card game, and what are the next steps you need to take to kind of level up your experience? Typically, it's described in 3 different levels: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And to me, those are kind of not super descriptive, and they cover each a very broad spectrum of people with very different circumstances. So what I've tried to do is I've tried to put together a little more defined listing. And rather than having 3, I've come up with 5. Now, these aren't perfect, and a lot of people are going to fit in between some of these levels. I myself, I'm kind of in between 4 and 5, so I would consider myself a 4.5. But these 5 different levels, I think, kind of describe in different ways, particularly how many cards a person has, how many subs they apply for and get every year, how much travel they actually do, how much they spend on their cards on a monthly basis. So we're going to look at all of those different factors and metrics and try to hopefully help you to know where you are in this game and what's kind of in store for you in the future if you continue to expand in this hobby. So if you would, it really helps me out a lot. My channel's starting to grow. It's exciting. So please, please subscribe and hit that like button. And let's go on this journey together. Now keep in mind that these different, quote, levels that I put together, they're just my own interpretation after having multiple cards and being in this game and taking all sorts of trips through the years and flying for work and all of my own circumstances. So they may apply well to many people, and it may not apply well in everybody's situation. But I think overall that these different categories, these different levels, will at least provide a roadmap and help people to know where they are and what's possibly in their future. So let's dive right in. Well, the first level that we have is what I'll just call level 1. You could call it the beginner level or just getting started point. And at that level, a person's just starting to take interest in this. Now, this person only travels 1 to 2 times a year, and they only have 1 or 2 different cards. And as far as subs, they might have just gotten those 1 or 2 cards that they have, and they might think about next year getting another card. So they're not really hitting the subs very hard, maybe once a year. And this person most likely isn't really thinking about points at all, but is still in that cash back stage. So they're just thinking about how they're going to get some kind of return on the money that they spend on their credit cards. And finally, I think this person probably spends $1,000 or less on their credit cards every month. Now, this is kind of where most of us start. Now, some people might dive in and actually do a little bit of transfer to some domestic partners or something like that, or they might have a blend of a cashback card and a points type of card, or many of the cards, if you have a Chase card, if you have a Citi card, some of those cards are either or cashback or points, depending on which one you want to use them for. So this is flexible in that it's not, well, it's only, if I have anything other than a cashback card, I'm not at level 1, or that if you have a cashback card that you're stuck there. So that's the way all these are. They're kind of fluid. But I think that basically describes that beginning point, that level 1 stage. This is the person who doesn't travel a lot, doesn't spend a whole lot of money on their credit cards, and they're glad to get some rewards, but they're just kind of getting their feet wet in this credit card game. So I think that's a pretty good description of the beginning, or that level 1 of where do you fit into the travel card game list of different levels. So that's the first level. Level 2 is where a person kind of steps up to kind of getting their feet wet into a little bit more advanced. And that would be a person who maybe they do have some cashback cards, maybe they do have some points cards, but their points, most likely they're going to redeem their points in a transfer portal. So with the city transfer portal, and doesn't mean that everybody who ever does that is in level 2. I mean, there are people who are way up the list, level 4 and level 5, who sometimes use the transfer portal for domestic travel or something like that. But that's kind of the go-to. But that transfer portal ability is kind of the go-to for somebody that's just moving out of the beginning stage, because it's comfortable, it's easy to understand, it doesn't involve opening accounts in all these different places like you have to do if you use especially foreign transfer partners. And this person spends a little bit more, probably between $1,000 and $2,000 a month on their cards. So they're concerned about earning more rewards because they're starting to think about what they can do with those rewards. This person probably has a few more cards, maybe 3 to 5 different cards. In addition, this person probably travels a little bit more, maybe 3 to 5 times a year, and they are kind of looking into credit cards. It's a little bit more than just, well, I need a credit card, so I just will get something back for it. No, at level 2, this person is thinking about, well, how can I get the best card, or how can I get a better card? How can I improve the rewards that I'm going to receive? So they're going to be looking for subs, and they might sign up for 1 or 2 cards every year to get those sign-up bonuses. So I think what we see here is just that next level up. And to me, it's a little bit more travel. It's a few more cards in your wallet. It's looking to get some subs every now and again. And this person particularly, while they're spending a little bit more on their card, they're also starting to redeem in ways other than just getting money back or getting a statement credit. They're looking to get value. And this is the kind of person for which oftentimes on YouTube, they recommend that the first travel card needs to be the Chase Sapphire Preferred, because that card gives a person a 1.25 rate in redeeming through the travel portal. And then the reserve, of course, is even better at 1.5. So this is the kind of person who would really utilize that. Not the people farther up on the list won't, but that's kind of their go-to. That's what they think of first. So I think that's a pretty good description of level 2. Now remember, there could be people who are like level 1.5. So some of the aspects of their routine, as far as their spending or how many times they travel or how they use the cards, that could fit level 1, and other aspects of their routine could fit level 2. So they would be maybe like a 1.5. So these are, like I said, they're fluid. There's different ways to apply them, and they're certainly not stringent categories. Now, level 3 is kind of where a lot of people in the YouTube space are. I think even some creators would be what I would call level 3. And that is, they've expanded beyond just using travel portals and just getting cash back or statement credits. And they're starting to use some transfer partners, but they're not really comfortable with the difficult ones. Transferring to something like Avianca or Turkish, I mean, just navigating the web pages and the apps and getting that all to line up, that's a whole different animal than just transferring your points to Delta from American Express or transferring your points to United from Chase. And so this level 3, starting to use transfer partners, starting to realize that there can be good value there, but mostly it's domestic or hotel transfer partners. So that would be things like United and Delta, JetBlue, maybe Hilton, or perhaps IHG. Or I think where a lot of level 3 people camp out is they're Chase people, and they love the transfer to Hyatt, because Hyatt's an easy one to transfer to. The app works really good. The transfers go through really easy from Chase, and you get really great redemption value. And there's no doubt. And there's no doubt that people level 4 and 5 often use that method as well. But it's an easier method than some of the more advanced methods we'll talk about in a little bit. So this to me would be kind of that level 3. Now, The other thing is at level 3, people are traveling more, maybe 6 to 8 times a year. These people are spending a little bit more on their credit cards. Maybe they're spending between $2,000 and $4,000 a month on their credit cards, and they're finding different ways to spend. Maybe they're when they go out to eat with people, they're putting it all on their card, so they get on their American Express Gold that 4 points per dollar or whatever it may be, and they're having other people Venmo them to pay them back. Or at work, they're offering to go buy things and get reimbursed by their employer, whatever it may be. They're thinking kind of more frequently about how to rack up more points. This would, to me, be kind of that level 3 person. This person may also have, 6 to 8 cards in their wallet and may also travel quite a bit more. They maybe travel 5 to 8 times a year, and they're on the go because they're trying to find ways to maximize all of that. So level 3 is really when you start playing the game pretty hard. I mean, you start really getting serious about it. And I think that's where a lot of people get to, and I think that's where a lot of people kind of stop, because getting past level 3, it's almost like between each of these levels, there's just a larger gap or a larger learning curve to jump from 1 to 2, and then from 2 to 3, and then from, as you're going to see, from 3 to 4, and then 4 to 5. So this seems to be where a lot of people are, and it's a good place to be. I mean, because at this point, they're using their travel portals, they've got quite a few cards, they're trying to maximize the right multipliers on different cards in different areas of their life. And then also they're starting to branch out, use those great Hyatt redemptions, maybe transfer to IHG or Hilton and transfer to United or Delta, and they're using some of those different avenues to get maximum value out of their points as well. So level 3, it's appropriate that it's in the middle because it's kind of the first level of what we would call advanced. Now level 4 is a pretty big jump from level 3, because level 4 is when people are trying to get crazy outsized value. I mean, at level 4, you don't really think, I'm not going to transfer my points to United, or these people probably aren't going to do a lot of transfers to Delta because they know that there's not great point redemptions there. These are people who are going to transfer their points to foreign airlines. They're going to try to get business class flights to Doha or over to Europe on Turkish or on Air France, and try to get the very best value. And this is where people really start thinking about cents per point, like what kind of outsized maximum value they can possibly get. And so at level 4, the jump from level 3, it takes a lot more time to know. It takes a lot more research to make sure you're getting a great deal. That's why I say between the levels, each one, it's like even more of a gap between 3 to 4 than it was from 2 to 3. So at level 4, a person is trying to transfer to foreign programs, get the very most value, flying business class, first class, different places. They're traveling probably, 9 to 12 times a year. So maybe traveling once a month. And some of that may be work, and some of it may be vacation or leisure. Some of it may be just to create content or to just enjoy life. So in this level, this person is very committed. I mean, this is more than just a side aspect of their life. It's a hobby or maybe even a job for some creators. So this level is just far beyond. Now, this person's probably spending $4,000 to $5,000 a month on their credit cards, and they're maximizing value everywhere they turn. This is the person that starts to get a big wallet of cards, maybe 9 to 15 credit cards in their wallet. And that's because they want to make sure they get the maximum value. And then also, this is the person who's hunting subs, maybe getting 4 to 5 subs a year. Maybe this person is playing 2-player mode and it's got their spouse or a friend or a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it may be involved in the game, so they can refer one another and get those points. So I would say level 4 is a very high level in the travel card game. And really, it's kind of the level that, I mean, I would consider myself like at level 4, having been for several years, maybe 4.5, because a few of the next level, but I can't be level 5 because it's even more. But this is kind of really where a lot of people cap out, even if they're really into this, because these are the things that can be managed, and it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, but it's not quite the intensity of level 5 that we're going to talk about next. So at level 5, a person is probably flying more than once a month, 13 plus times a year. At level 5, this person's putting a lot of money on their credit cards, maybe $5,000 plus a month. This person probably has a wallet of 20 cards or more. And this person is finding all sorts of ways to create spending. In fact, I think probably a marker of level 5, and that's why I'm not there, is because level 5 people, they do manufactured spending. I mean, they are finding ways to churn gift cards or in buying clubs or in all of these kind of things. And these people are doing mattress runs, and they're doing status challenges. Now, in level 4, there's some status. Somebody might have airline status and hotel status and all of that, maybe even at level 3 if they have the right credit cards. But this is a person, I mean, at level 5, statuses are a part of the whole system to them, and they're trying to hunt all of that. This is a person who maximizes everything, who basically lives, eats, and breathes the credit card game, and they rack up massive, massive points through playing the game. Now, the difference is somebody could be at level 2 or level 3 and have a business with a lot of spend who racks up a lot of points also. But at level 5, they're racking up massive, probably hundreds of thousands or millions of points because they're skilled at playing the game. So they do manufactured spending. So they find ways to absolutely maximize. So they're hunting after the absolute highest subs, and they're waiting for the right sub at the right time because they know it's going to come around. And so I don't know if all of these levels are accurate. In fact, I'm certain that there are probably people who, well, some of that in level 2 fits me and some of that in level 5 fits me. Where do I fit? Well, you just got to figure that out on your own. But I think it does give us a helpful guide. And when I look at my own situation, I kind of moved through those tiers. I mean, for years and years and years, I was level 1, then level 2. And then I've spent a long time at level 3. And then for the last 3 years, I've probably been at level 4. Now I think I'm at 4.5, but I don't think I'm ever going to get, because I'm just not interested in the manufacturer. That just seems too much for me. So I'm not going to get in buyer clubs and all of that stuff. So I think I'm comfortable. For me, the pinnacle is the 4.5 level. That's where I'm at. That's probably where I'm going to stay. Well, where are you at? I mean, what's your travel game look like? And are you satisfied with it? If you are, there's not really a right or wrong answer. That's great. But maybe this helps you to know, well, what more is out there for me? If I wanted to level up, if I wanted to kind of move to that next tier, what does that involve? And so hopefully this helps you. I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to hear what you think about it all. If I missed it somewhere, well, it's a work in progress. So I'm just trying to give helpful tools. And really, it was kind of trying to reflect on it myself. So let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you think about it. And put a number down there in the comments. Say that here's my name and I'm 3.5 or I'm 4.0 or I'm 4.5 or I'm 1.5 working on 2, whatever it may be. I'd just love to hear that from you. So have a great day, and we'll see you here next time.